What's up, y'all? This your boy Eddie Jackson. Welcome back to the Drop That Podcast. Before we get into hip hop talk, this episode is brought to you by Layback TV. Over 10,000 channels, movies on demand, every sports channel, multiple languages, very simplified network that's gonna take over Xfinity and Spectrum. Come bring it, cause I said your name. Yes, it's an incredible network. Every HBO, every Cinemax, French, English, Spanish, you name it. It's very, very simplified. You can watch your pay-per-views, your UFCs, your pro wrestlings, WWE, you name it. Check them out at laybacktv.com. That's Layback. Layback TV.com. You can check them out. They're compatible on your Androids, your iPhones, your Fire Sticks. You can also check them out on layback_official on Instagram as well, yo. Tell them Eddie Jack sent you, alright? Now back to hip hop talk. Yo, guys. Alright. There's a shit that hit the fan. Alright, and we're gonna try to squeeze this in as much as we can. So, there was a performance. This is hip hop talk in case you're fucking wondering. There was a situation, a festival that went down with Rick Ross over there in Vancouver, British Columbia, where he performed. I ain't gonna lie, this ain't even look like Rolling Loud to me. This is what it was, a very, very odd performance. And in the closing of his performance, he decided to play Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. Now, think about that. That is a Kendrick Lamar diss record towards Drake that Rick Ross, who was also beefing with Drake, played in the country of Canada where Drake is from. And he got approached. Words were being discussed. And I heard a lot of platforms that spoke on it. You know what I mean? I heard academics speak on it. I heard The Breakfast Club. I heard the Joe Budden podcast. Shout out to all three of those platforms. They do an incredible job. And I heard their take on it. You know what I mean? They had a lot of interesting takes. Academics had an interesting take on it. You know, Joe Budden had pretty much, I would say, you know, being a former artist, a former MC, you know, who has battled Drake in the past, had an interesting take on it as well, you know. Like, what the fuck was Ross even doing there? Like, you know, maybe he should have said no to that money. You know what I mean? It wasn't worth being there, you know, especially with, you know, riding on low with security. Like, he didn't have no fucking body. I watched that whole scuffle, and, you know, if y'all didn't see it, a drink was thrown at Ross. There was also a swing. One of his securities got knocked the fuck out. You know, he did his little rebuttal on Instagram, you know, saying ain't nobody hit me and all that shit. I mean, everybody's talking about it as a scuffle. You know, they're talking about, yo, what the fuck was he even playing that joint in there? Like, you're asking for the problems. You know, that's like, let's say that's like, you know, Drake goes to Compton or Inglewood, you know, at the Kia Forum, and decides to perform. You know, he did his tour, you know, when it came down to he did his tour with 21 Savage at the Kia Forum. Let's say he was there at the Kia Forum and he decided to play Family Matters, a diss record. He also did a video of it, you know, pretty much, you know, majority of dissing Kendrick Lamar. What do you think is gonna fucking happen? You know what I mean? Do you think everybody's gonna sing along to this shit? No, it's disrespectful. I agree with a lot of platforms that say, like, what the fuck were you even doing there? Or what the fuck what you thought? You thought you were gonna be invincible not performing, but playing Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar, a record that's not even fucking yours. Now, don't get it twisted. You know, a lot of platforms, they're fans of, you know, and a lot of biased opinions most of the time. I am a fan of Drake in certain levels. I am a fan of Kendrick Lamar. I am a fan of Rick Ross. I've been a fan of Rick Ross, you know, I ain't gonna say a bandwagon before 06 with Port of Miami. I would say at Port of Miami in 06 when he dropped his debut. You know what I mean? Port of Miami is one of my favorite albums from Ross. I also love Deeper Than Rap, and so forth. That's when he didn't sound so one-dimensional. He was very, versatile with it. Um, yeah, I agree. What the fuck were you even playing? Like, I think Ross is becoming a little bit of a troll nowadays. You know, I mean, shout out to him for an incredible career, bouncing around fucking Def Jam Records, Epic Records, MMG, help propel the careers of Wale and Meek Mill and so forth. But it's like, you're becoming a troll now with this shit, and you're really thinking you're so untouchable with this boss shit. And yeah, it's dangerous to go into a guy you beefing with home country, because you ain't gonna do that shit in Toronto. I think Toronto would have definitely fucking set him straight. You went all the way to the west coast of Canada, which was Vancouver. That's not Toronto. Toronto's all the way east, above New York. So, I mean, he did it. And look how far he went. He went exactly all the way to Vancouver to do that dumb trolling shit, and still got checked. I mean, they even said a good point about, the guy, his security who got knocked out should be suing Rick Ross. Rick Ross left unscathed. I looked at it differently, because they all grouped up, right? They're all grouped up talking shit to each other. You know what I noticed? It ain't no secret. Rick Ross is a fat motherfucker. He's big. He's walking around there with no shirt. You know what else I noticed? You walking around with no shirt and no bulletproof vest. Now, whoever threw the drink in there, imagine who would have got away with a fucking gun just squeezing right through the people and blast fucking Rick Ross, knowing that he ain't got a fucking vest. You're walking around fucking thinking you untouchable, playing Not Like Us, a record that's not even fucking yours. You don't get credit for that. I don't think you even get fucking paid for that. Fucking, like, what if somebody wanted to get a little pussy pistol and boom, put it in between people and bam, aiming at Ross? They know he's not protected with any Kevlar, which is fucking weird, dude. You got light fucking security and no body armor. Not smart at all. I don't know what the fuck Rick Ross is doing, why he's trolling and shit like that. He's got his baby mama on Instagram talking shit. Everybody talking shit with Ross, but, Ross is making it way too fucking easy. So I gotta give dumbass of that night to Rick Ross for being stupid. Your ass could have got killed with that dumb shit. Get some Kevlar. You know what I'm saying? Get some fucking body armor. You ain't gonna fucking survive this shit if this is what the fuck you're doing. Dumbass of that night also goes to his DJ. Your stupid ass played Not Like Us, not even thinking. And dumbass security. Why would the fuck would you take the job? Whatever check Ross gave you regarding protecting him that night, you ask yourself, rhetorically, ask yourself, was the amount of money you got worth you getting your ass knocked out and going fucking viral for it? Once again, that's rhetorical. But that's all we got. I'm your boy Eddie Jackson. This is the Drop That Podcast. Come check us out over there at youtube.com/@DropThatPodcast. Hit that subscribe button, like the page. Comments are off. Talk your shit if you think you fucking necessary. I'll be there to reply. I hope you love the response, alright? Either if it's positive or negative, alright? You guys have a good night. Stay blessed. Peace!